So recently, Oliver Stone had pointed out that the American media is absolutely shitty. I have got myself unaddicted to nicotine and the American media. Even the Young Turks have gone corporate, and they supported Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton, of course, was all about the Syrian war. She was all about containing Russia, but actually being the empire, being the world's bully. We're the policemen of the world. We are the premier empire. If we're not an empire, then what the fuck is? I mean, are you kidding me? So we are going to get out of the Syrian war. This is great, wonderful news. But the American media has essentially been like, what the fuck are you doing? We got to support the war machine. This is the military-industrial complex society. We believe in war for war's sake. We'll be right-wing warmongers no matter what until we provoke every single terrorist to come after us. And then when they attack us, we'll say, see what we mean, see what happens, see how they treat us after we've been, killing them. So maybe we should stop killing them. Maybe to stop terrorism, we should stop participating in terrorism. Or actually, war is big-time terrorism. Big-time terrorism, right? It's fucking huge terrorism. It's like terrorism times a million. So war as a tactic should be eliminated, just like terrorism as a tactic should be eliminated for good, for absolute good. So that's my war theory. All war is wrong. If we don't put it into war, war is going to put it into us. All war except for revolutionary war. So, I just wanted to actually comment about the military, or the media here. The New York Times, a strategy of retreat in Syria with echoes of Obama. President Trump has been far more engaged with the idea of using military to secure the Mexican border than to counter Russia, Iran, North Korea, and China. So, there's only so many different foreign policy strategies that we could have. We could be isolationist. We're just our own country, and we don't meddle in anybody else's business, which is what I prefer. I'm an isolationist. There's also détente. There's also we're the empire. There's also let's use the United Nations. There's also let's reform the United Nations. There's also let's get rid of the United Nations, have a more fair and equitable world organization. So there's only, and that's it. There's only, 4 or 5, maybe 6 different options for our foreign policy. Either we're Hitler or we are the United Nations, which we established, the greatest generation, World War II established the United Nations to stop us from getting into war. Hitler's crime was that he invaded Czechoslovakia and then he invaded Poland. Once he invaded 2 sovereign nations, the jig was up. We knew what the fuck he was going to do, and either the world needs to unite and stop this fucking Napoleon conquering, dirty, rotten, son of a bitch, genocidal, anti-fucking Jewish, Holocaust, and dumb fucking one ball, one testicle, going to declare, war on Russia and the United States at the same fucking time. Dumb leader. I mean, and he almost, I guess the shocking thing about the Adolf is that he almost won. In fact, both times, both world wars, they almost won. But that was sort of, World War I was something altogether. World War I was bullshit, actually. We were on the wrong side of World War I. And the reason Germany was attacked was because it was, they had a bunch of machines and shit. So they were looking all militaristic, but they weren't really doing anything. But Britain was scared about it. So, by ordering the small American force of 2,000 troops to leave Syria, Trump is about to turn his theory into practice. He's saying that we conquered ISIS. We're done. That was the objective. We've basically obliterated ISIS, and we've conquered the land. We've taken the land back. ISIS is gone for the most part, so we're getting the fuck out. It was like 97% done, with ISIS when he first fucking jumped in there, so I'm actually surprised that it took this long. We've been in Syria for 4 years. War is bullshit. We've been bombing 8 nations publicly, 20 nations in Africa. We've invaded Niger for some fucking reason, and Nigeria and Cameroon, and really, probably 50 other countries. Just keep it out of the White House. That's what Nixon used to say. So the CIA and all these military boys go around doing whatever the hell they want to do, and if they happen to fuck up, then the White House will just disavow. But they were in that, I don't remember, I did give that executive order. Yeah, okay. That's, no, I mean, oops, no. I don't know anything about that. So, therefore, right, just had the plausible deniability. So, looking down here, even Vox Vox seems like it's usually pretty progressive. Trump's Syria troops withdrawal, good for ISIS in Iran, but bad for the Kurds. There are some concerns there, but we got 30 days to do this. We can do it in 30 days. I think it'd be fucking easy, and this is exciting. This is the right direction. And what the fuck would Hillary Clinton have done? Donald's been doing Hillary Clinton's plan the entire fucking time. So this is a reversal. This is, let's, not invade. Let's not get up in everybody's asshole. Let's not put, America, let's not put our hand, just up to people's asshole that were, coming up their esophagus and out their mouth. Let's not, maybe just a thumb up their ass, maybe just, I don't know. But, not a thumb up their ass. Maybe, talk to them as equals, in a chair. Like I'm in a chair, they're in a chair, and that's equals. So the New York Times, a strategy of retreat. So what a bunch of pussies, right? Well, you're going to quit, you're going to quit Syria? What were we in Syria for? What was the fucking point? Why we do this? The Syria, we've been in it for 4 years. That's a civil war. That's a, revolutionary war of 7 years. So that's, the majority of a revolutionary war. It's World War II. It's a civil war. We've been in Syria as long as World War II. We were fighting Nazis for 4 years. We were fighting, whoever in Syria, Assad or terrorists. I think we were arming terrorists. John McCain armed some terrorists. So we were for some terrorists, and then we were against other terrorists. We really hated Assad. We wanted the empire that was. So I think all the concerns are fucking bullshit. It's fucking stupid. There are 4 winners in the U.S. withdrawal from Syria, and they're all U.S. adversaries. That's the Business Insider. After the U.S. troops leave Syria, what happens next? NPR actually had a non-biased title there, but Business Insider, right, basically all of our enemies win. New York Times, bunch of pussies, you're going to retreat, you bunch of pussies. The Washington Post, the U.S. says it's pulling out of Syria. Who are the biggest winners and losers? They're going to say the same shit. I'll mention just real quick why it's not exactly great for, Iran and ISIS and bad for the Kurds. We're going to protect the Kurds. The Kurds are our friends. Peshmerga, some badass motherfuckers. Kurdistan should be a nation. So the Kurds are our buddies, they're our friends, they're our allies. We could just, integrate and let's just march out with them. We'll go ahead and guard the Kurds. If they want to exit with us, if they want to stay, that's their own choice. But let's go back to Kurdistan, right? The Kurds live in northern Iraq. Syria is not their nation. We went in there, we got the job done, wiped out 99% of ISIS. So they're saying it's good for ISIS, but we've conquered ISIS. So they're saying there's pockets. Yeah, there's always going to be pockets of, there's pockets of Nazis around, right? There's pockets of lots of enemies, historical enemies, right? There's pockets of whatever, every fucking enemy we've ever had. Communists, Viet Cong, Chinese, Japanese, Russia, we've, bombed nations. So there's, they still exist. They probably remember, when we invaded or killed some of their people. The Guardian, the Syrian withdrawal, Republican opposition to Trump's plan grows as it happened. So they're sitting there saying that, listen to the Republicans. Republicans kiss my ass. The Democrats are fucking criticizing this stupid shit. Somebody said on Facebook, what did they say? They said, I just don't think we should declare war or get out of war by one person. You pussified fucking liberal, fuck twat, limpet dick, fucking needle dick, fucking dumb, pussified God damn it, you stupid motherfuckers. If you assholes can't stand up and make the president get out of the fucking war, then I would rather one motherfucker do it. I'd rather one person get us out of the goddamned war. Jesus Christ, we're going to wait on your stupid asses to stand up and do fucking something? You haven't done shit since, 2001? Give me a fucking break. Where's the anti-war movement? Right here, this is it, right here. Me and Jill Stein, right? Cynthia McKinney, there's only about, a dozen of us left? So, U.S. prepared for full withdrawal from Syria. Russia, Turkey, Iran fail and push for new Syrian constitution. So, they're trying for a new Syrian constitution, right? They're, looking at Assad and be like, you need to get legitimate, motherfucker. We just defended your ass. The Republican opposition grows. That was Al Jazeera, who had a neutral title. CNN has a neutral title. And, let's see, new military operation in Syria to start in any moment. That's Turkey. So Turkey is about to go into Syria. And if Turkey fucks with the Kurds, we need to fuck Turkey up. The Kurds are Americans. We should make Kurdistan the 51st state. We should make Iraq the 51st state. And that's how we fix the Iraq mistake. We just make Iraq a fucking prosperous, just a plush, skyscrapers, civilization, fancy fucking shit. Make Iraq a success story, and then you'll justify that, genocide. So, U.S. citizen executed in a Syrian prison. ISIS had executed 700 people in prison because they were, afraid of getting conquered. So they're just like, fuck this, we're going to kill all these people. They're, basically witnesses. And that's horrible. It's happened a lot of times in war. It happened with the Emperor Maurice and his 5 sons. He gets beheaded, or the Romanians, I forget. But essentially, you have your enemies in prison, and your enemies are about to conquer you. And so once they liberate all those people in prison, right? You've been laughing at them and torturing them. Once they get liberated and get guns, they might shoot you. They might remember all that torture and abuse. Russia slams U.S. presence in Syria as obstacle peace. Okay, Russia. We're getting out. Chill the fuck out. So, Trump appears to confirm complete U.S. troop withdrawal from Syria. Russian disinformation campaign targets Syria's beleaguered rescue workers. On board the Eye in the Sky Watch in Syria. Donald Trump claims victory over ISIS in Syria. Turkey threatens incursion into Syria, raising U.S. concerns. Syria's last bastion of freedom. U.S. warns Turkey not to attack Syria. For U.S. troops in Syria, an indefinite stay and increasing risk of combat and insurgency. Assassination of raid fairs today. Syrian revolution died. America's forgotten war in Syria isn't stopping. Dozens injured in toxic gas attacks on Aleppo, Syria, reports say. So, they weren't all as bad, but I just felt like the big main ones, fucking New York Times and The Guardian and all the Vox. Vox, I guess, I don't know, Vox isn't the most progressive. I guess Vice, I'd be shocked if Vice was like sitting there, having, what I want to say about ISIS and the Kurds are our friends. We're going to protect the fucking Kurds. Institute Kurdistan, make Kurdistan their 51st state. I'd be okay. I would be willing to adopt 50 new states into America. Let's have 100 states. I like a 100-state America much better than a 50-state America, right? 100's way fucking better than 50. Would you rather have $100 or $50? And that's the thing the Roman Empire did, is when they conquered nations, they would adopt the new conquered people as Romans, so therefore they became Roman citizens, and they got the protection of the Roman Empire. And they got to trade with the Romans and, all this other shit. So I think a lot of countries, Puerto Rico's been begging to become a state. We got 5 territories. Make all them states, and let's find 45 new states. Let's have a big campaign and just say, who wants to be an American? And then if Egypt wants to become an American, then we could fly back and forth to Egypt as if we're, goddamn fucking, as if it's like Tennessee and Alabama, or, Oregon and Washington. I like being able to drive, in any state that I want to drive to. That's fucking cool. That's awesome. Right? America, freedom of movement, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to peacefully assemble, the right to petition. I like these freedoms. These are good freedoms, right, America? Fox News defends why Trump's Syria withdrawal is the right move. Of course it is. Trump courts catastrophe in Syria. Bloomberg, no he doesn't. The Washington Post, this is not the way to leave Syria. Yes it is. New Yorker is Trump's plan for Syria, a withdrawal or a surrender. It is both. It's both. But essentially, I guess the objective is close. It's like 99% done. So I think he could say that he defeated ISIS and get the fuck out of Dodge. And there's going to be pockets, just like there's pockets of Nazis, there's pockets of Confederates, there's pockets of British redcoat imperialists somewhere, I'm sure. So the pockets, if they resurge, then we go back in and kick some fucking ass. If, I would think that the Assad and Russia and all those other motherfuckers that's in Syria would be against terrorism, right? Motherfuckers just blowing shit up. So that just is against their self-interest for everybody. Why would you tolerate any kind of terrorism? So if there are pockets of ISIS, I'd like to think that the forces that are already in there will take care of it. Maybe Turkey will invade and take care of it. Watch out for Turkey. We're going to protect, the Kurds and ISIS resurgence. I think it's not an unfounded fear. I mean, anything's fucking possible, but that's the thing, is anything's fucking possible. ISIS is basically mostly defeated. So at some point, you just got to kind of cut cut the string, cut the cord, and just, cut it all loose? And when is ISIS completely eliminated? What if we killed every single ISIS soldier, and then some asshole in Pakistan all of a sudden started calling himself ISIS? What if they named their kids ISIS? Then, ISIS will probably continue just like Al-Qaeda continues. We created Al-Qaeda. It was only 100 people. And we were, fighting the war on terrorists, but then we're also arming terrorists. And then Tulsi Gabbard had that bill, Stop the Terrorists, Stop Arming Terrorists, and nobody wanted to do that. Nobody wanted to stop arming the terrorists. And that seems fucked up as, fuck. So, Twitter, right? Yay, Twitter. 7:29 a.m. we defeated ISIS in Syria. My only reason for being there during the Trump administration presidency after historical victories against ISIS. It's time to bring our great young people home. It's a great Christmas time gift. I think the Saturday Night Live fucking punched Donald in the gut. The joke where it said last week Donald had a really bad year, so it was basically saying Donald's just getting pummeled day in and day out. Donald doesn't listen to anybody. Donald's an asshole. So I would actually probably ascribe this change in behavior to a lot of things. That girl dying on the border and, everything else. Mueller investigation, all that shit seems to be, kind of unraveling against him. But ultimately, because of his bad fucking week, Trump's doing a lot of good fucking things. So I applaud. Trump is only 5% right. He's, President Dick Cheese. I actually still want to impeach him for war crimes. We're still in Africa. We're still in 7 other countries. So let's get out of Afghanistan. Next, let's support the local folks there. There's lots of other things that I would like to happen, but I'll get into that later. So, yeah, Lindsey Graham withdrawal of this small American force in Syria would be a huge Obama-like mistake. So that's, attacking him and Obama. Obama was, we've been in Syria for 4 years. Obama's the one that invaded Syria. We've been in there for 4 years. Are we killing Nazis? Are we killing terrorists? What the fuck is going on over there? It's not clear. So we've killed a shit ton of fucking ISIS. Eventually you do have to just kind of cut the cord and just, go. So I guess there is a objective answer to this. Is he calling it quits before the end? I think it's close. It's very, very close. So even if, like I said, all the ISIS fighters were killed, and then some asshole in Pakistan calls himself fucking ISIS, well then, does that mean there's a resurgence? Kind of, right? There's fucking KKK pieces of shit, Confederate pieces of shit, Nazi pieces of shit, British imperialists. I've seen an asshole with a red coat, talking in a British accent the other day. Actually, I've never seen that. But that would be, I bet you there's somewhere, I bet in the fucking, in Britain, I bet there's some motherfuckers that's like, damn America colonies, fucking hypocritical sons of bitches. Washington Examiner, with or without U.S. troops, Syria will be shattered, bankrupt, and violent. Lindsey Graham says it's a huge Obama-like mistake. The dangers of calling mission accomplished in Syria. The New York Times, the dangers of calling mission accomplished in Syria. Shut the fuck up, New York Times. Shut the fuck up, Guardian. Shut the fuck up, mainstream media. And shut the fuck up, Lindsey Graham. Trump just screwed up the one thing he did better than Obama. Shut the fuck up, Atlantic. Yahoo News, shut the fuck up. Go ahead, President, please withdraw from Syria already. Reason.com, good job. Corker, in many ways, Trump's Syria decision worse than Obama's with Iraq. Shut the fuck up, Breitbart and Corker. Trump today, President declares ISIS defeated in Syria as he relents on border wall. So, give credit where credit is due. It's not a stop clock, it's a fucking human, and he's got, he's 5% right. Donald Trump sucks with war overall. This is only a tiny bit of him actually doing the right thing, because this is so fucking vital. Remember Vietnam? We lost the War of 1812, we've lost the Somalian War, we lost the Vietnam War, and I would say we've won the Syrian War. We've, wiped out 99%. If someone said we didn't even wipe out 99% of the goddamn Nazis, right? We put them on trial and shit, and then was like, should we kill them or shouldn't we? So, and then we were like, yeah, of course, you can't just be obedient to some fucking tyrannical dictator. He says to go shoot that person. Well, he's just like, goddamn Charles Manson. Charles Manson never killed anybody. He just told everybody else to go do it, and they fucking did it. So they should be responsible for their behavior, should they not? So it is vital for America to defend the Viet Cong. Don't defend the French colonists. Defend the Viet Cong. Be like Hanoi Jane. Jane Fonda was right. Hanoi Jane was right. So we should have fought with the Viet Cong. Think what the Vietnamese people would have thought about us. Instead of, bombing the fuck out of them and killing 4 million people, what if we said, oh, yeah, Vietnam, you are your own nation. You do get to keep your own sovereign nation. Good luck. Is there anything that you would like us to help you out with? Huh? You want us to give you some, a Marshall Plan? You want us to give us, some foreign aid? Is there something we could do for you, Vietnam? Viet Cong, Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh. He basically was a nationalist. Yeah, he's a communist, but he said that Vietnam had been there for 5,000 years. What the fuck, you think we're going to go away? And they were willing to, 4 million of them died compared to 75,000 Americans. So actually, very few Americans compared to how many were killed, but that's how much they believed in independence of their country. And if the American Revolution, we fought off the British imperialists. That's a good thing. That's a revolutionary war. That's a good thing. Another good revolutionary war would be, on Vietnam side. Lincoln's war against these slave-owning fucking Confederate pieces of shit. That's a good fucking war. The war against the goddamn Nazis, the imperialists. They kept invading one country and another country. These are good wars. We were on the right side of history. That's what it is so imperative, that we're on the right side of history. Jesus Christ, France helped us out. Britain, didn't help. They tried to fuck us up. So we forgot about France, but that's a good thing that France did for us. So yeah, ISIS killed 700 people, prisoners, but because we got 30 days to withdraw. So we're going to bomb the fuck out of them up until the last day, and then we're going to have Operation Fury where we just kind of fly everybody out. Or maybe we'll slowly march out to clapping parades. We'll have Turkey, Russia, Iran, all these people clapping as we peacefully, walk out of the country. We didn't, we went in there for good intentions. We just wanted to stop terrorism. We didn't want to go in there for empire. We didn't want there for world hegemony. We weren't trying to get right up against Russia and Iran. People saying that Russia and Iran, that's actually their spot. That's their nation. That's their... they should influence their fucking neighbors more so, but in terms of, America's empire and our influence, we should make sure Russia and Iran doesn't expand out of their borders. Détente, we should, keep everybody in place. They shouldn't be imperialist Hitler motherfuckers, right, taking over nations that they don't, they're taking over other sovereign nations, especially democratically, legitimate nations where they have their own elected government, where they got their democracy up and running. So, it's time for our troops to come back home. Real clear politics. Bipartisan senators call Trump Syria withdrawal costly mistake. You're wrong. Lindsey Graham, shut the fuck up. So, I guess that's about it for me on that. The concerns are, anything can fucking happen, but basically, it seems like liberals and conservatives are just a bunch of fucking pussies. This is a great fucking thing. Fox News is right. You stupid fucking, goddamn media. Shit. Yeah, the fact that you made me say Fox News is right, I think you should be ashamed of yourselves. So, good job, President Trump. Thanks for withdrawing the troops from Syria. I think that's a step in the right direction. Step in the right direction. We should be for peace. All war is bullshit except for revolutionary war. And if we're not on the side of the revolutionaries, then we're the Nazis or the Confederates or the British imperialists. And that's fucking bullshit. Don't defend the French colonists, defend Ho Chi Minh and the Viet Cong. Ho Chi Minh said Vietnam is their own country. He's right. It is their own country. And now we got a Baskin Robbins, right, in Hanoi today. So they liked our corporations. We didn't have to bomb the fuck out of them in order to get influence. But I guess for our military dominance and, more later. So, peace.